Good morning. Today is February 3rd, I think. Yeah. And I wanted to talk to you about something because this is something that has been bothering me for quite a long time. And I don't really know what it is that I'm supposed to do about it. I've been feeling really weird lately. I've had some type of strange, perpetual anxiety to a degree that it kind of makes me sick. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, and I have these horrible feelings. My heart is racing, and I feel like I can't think straight. Or I wake up feeling this heart rate beating really fast and a sensation of panic. Now, this is not the first time, obviously, that I've experienced this. I've had situations like this in the past, but never to the deepest extreme that I have been this past January. Now it's going into February and it's still happening. Why? I don't know. I am one of those Americans that's against Trump. I didn't vote for him. I believe that he is a convicted felon, which he is. I don't like him, and I haven't liked him even since when I was a kid. I just didn't like him, even with Home Alone. And there's nothing wrong with not liking somebody. Now, I don't wish anybody ill will, but I wish that he wasn't our president right now. Because I feel like all it's doing is causing everybody around the world to be pissed off at us as a country. But I feel like that they're smart enough to know that it's not all of us because we didn't vote for him. And it feels better acknowledging that, to say that. Well, now's my other problem. Besides the anxiety thinking about President Trump and his nonsense that's going on, and the fears that I have. I don't think he's making America great again like he promised. I think he's screwing it up. I'm afraid of these tariffs because it's going to raise prices on stuff, and I don't think he understands that. Either that or, I don't know, maybe he misunderstood things. Maybe he's got an agenda, or he's being forced into it, or something. And maybe he's just a pawn. We don't know. I don't know. It's just, I have a creative mind and I try to think outside of the box. I feel really nervous, and as I try to breathe, I still feel myself like as if I'm falling apart. I shiver, I shake, and now what I started doing is living in a fantasy world. I'd been looking at books and interactive stories and creating my own little world in the past 3 days, I think, to a degree that I feel almost dissociated from reality. But I think that's because I'm doing it to myself, where I'm pulling myself out and putting myself into my own little world. I have a very vivid imagination. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into what I've been imagining as far as my life and the changes and the differences and all that stuff, because that's just kind of petty, because it involves, like, I don't know, me living in a totally different country and looking a little bit different, and I was aged differently, that sort of thing. I don't know how to. Sorry if I feel like I have drool on my face. I don't know how to go through these things. I don't know how to experience what I'm experiencing. I'm just kind of going through it. I think most of the people that I know around me are just busy living their lives. And I feel like mine has stopped. And my life has been in my head. Sometimes I think of it as a Cinderella story. You know, a dream is a wish your heart makes and all that stuff. I can't share mine. But, I do know that it kind of makes me sick at the same time to think about the things that I've been thinking about as far as these fantasy worlds and these realistic fictions, I guess you could say, of things that have been in my head. I love my books and I love my stories and I love interactive stories. But they're not real. I know that. I'm not stupid. But I can honestly tell you, I am very tired of waking up and just feeling like I'm overwhelmed. It really sucks. It sucks when you imagined your life would be totally different than what it is right now. And then I think about how old I am, and I think about where I'm going, and I realize that I am going to be 39 in like 20 something days, 20 days. I'm bad at math. And it's scary. It's quite scary. I think one of the things that I'm gonna have to do is I need to take anxiety medicine before I go crazy. First and foremost, drink a ton of water and pray that I can sleep this away so that I don't feel this awkward feeling, because it's gotten to a point where for the past 3 days I haven't been eating properly. I felt more hungry than anything. But it's like at the same time I'm not. So I haven't really been eating right. Even in January, I wasn't really eating right. It's like I just ignored any time that I was like hungry, I guess. It kind of makes me sick. Why do I do it? I kind of just feel like I am slowly falling apart in some sense, because I'm basically just doing what I can to avoid reality as it exists. My reality. Because your thoughts and your imagination, when you're as vivid as a dreamer as I am, it's very intense. And you have the power and the capacity to go anywhere that you want to go in your mind. But I'm trailing off because I don't know where I'm going with this. All I know is that I'm tired right now. I had anxiety last night. I had mild panic attacks. My cat's destroying the floor. Sorry, Bootsy. Don't mean to rat you out or anything like that. But, I just don't sleep well at night. I haven't slept well at night in a long time. And I'm really tired of it. Tired of it. So I'm gonna try and figure out a way to deal with this in the best way that I can. All I know is that I am one of those persons that is an American against Trump. And I suffer terrible anxiety from it. And I've been suffering from disassociation because I just wanted to get out of this real life. It hurts so bad. And you would think, oh, why are you so affected by that? Because it just doesn't affect only me. It affects our entire country. It affects our entire world in some aspect. Because everything has a trickle-down effect. I mean, who's going to pay for it except for people like me who can barely afford to do anything? Now, I've talked about the anxiety. I talked about how I don't sleep well at night. I talked about almost like a fantasy world, like a disassociation of reality, I guess you could say, so that I can cope with the fact that life is not what I feel like it should be. But then again, I'm fully aware that that's not how life works. You can't just live in a dream. It's not healthy. And life is actually, excuse me. Sorry, it's morning and I'm tired. Life is what you make it. That's what they say, but they as in people. But I don't really believe that. Because if life was what we made it, then the things that I did, that I struggled for, and that I've been trying to get to, I don't know, since I was like 25, I would have already had it by now. It has been well over 10 years. And I'm like, how much longer is it going to take? And I said to myself, am I spending the majority of my life trying to be somebody I'm not, or trying to do something that just wasn't meant for me at this point? Sometimes I feel like we almost fight a lifetime to get to where we want to be. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to post this video or if I'm just going to keep it as a video log. After all, I do like video blogging and video journaling. Even if I'm boring as fuck, I don't care. You either listen, or you don't, And there's nothing that I can do about that. But if you have made it to the end of this video, I say thank you for just listening to my little rants and raves that I have this morning. And I truly believe that taking a couple of deep breaths, having myself some half decaf coffee if I could make it, and drinking a lot of water, as well as maybe taking some anxiety meds, I might actually feel a lot better. But, you know, I feel like I shouldn't have to rely on medicine to ease my anxiety disorder. But, yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms. So, I'm gonna go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of my life in some way, sense, or form by listening. And I hope that you are living your best life possible. And I hope that you continue to strive for your dreams. And I hope that you appreciate, like I do appreciate what it is that I do have. And I strive and keep moving toward my dreams. And I hope that if you haven't reached yours, that you do the same. Well, God bless America, because we sure need it. And God bless you and your family and your friends. And take care of you, because you only get one life. Make it the best you can, even if things don't work out the way that you originally wanted them to. And stay awesome. You take care. Bye, everybody.